is all about modern periodic table. So this is the modern periodic table, and this periodic table is proposed by Henry Moseley by their law that we have periodified the elements or arranged the elements by increasing of their atomic number. The earlier periodic table which are designed by the different chemists or scientists, they just use a method by their atomic mass, but Henry Moseley choose the method to arrange the element by their atomic weight. So this periodic table is basically divided into four major groups, that is four major groups or major parts, that part known as blocks. So there is a four block, that S, P, D and F block, where F block elements also known as inner transition elements. So now let's see the different things or different fact about this periodic table. That is, that periodic table is divided into 18 groups, which is placed on this way. They are all groups, and there is a 7 periods which are placed at that way. So the groups and the periods having their different properties and different things. For example, if we go down to the group, from first group for first period to sixth period, we saw that atomic mass, atomic weight is constantly increased. Atomic mass and atomic weight is constantly increased. In somehow elements, the density and also melting point and boiling point is also increases. But if we talk about this group, the first group, the second last element is cesium. The cesium is the lowest melting point among all the metals present in periodic table, and it is also known as the highly reactive metal among all the metals present in the periodic table. No other metal can compete cesium in its reactivity. But there is one more thing which is given by Mendeleev, that is a diagonal relationship. So what is the diagonal relationship? The diagonal relationship is the procedure or is the relationship that an element having in a group is diagonally related by the element of their next period and next group. For example, I will take the example of manganese, that is atomic number 25. If we talk about the diagonal relationship of manganese, then the diagonal relationship will move towards this way, that the manganese have different or relationship with ruthenium. So now just see the other facts on this periodic table, that there is a bromine. Bromine is the only liquid non-metal present on Earth, as well as mercury. It is a metal which is in liquid state, and also mercury have the property of volatile. So what are volatile? They, at a room temperature, mercury can easily evaporate it from their liquid state to their gaseous state. But there is one element which have a special type of diagonal relationship, which is also known as dual diagonal relationship. So that is a silver. Silver metal has a dual diagonal relationship. It has a relationship with mercury as well as platinum. And if we take the group of silver, the group in this silver metal is present. So we can see that copper, silver, gold, all three elements are very non-reactive in nature, and they are easily found. But if we goes down to the periodic table, the availability of the elements on Earth crust will be decreases. The availability, that means the element become more and more rare. For example, if we talk about the nitrogen, so nitrogen is very large amount nitrogen is present in our Earth. But if we talk about the bismuth, the very beautiful crystalline formation is done by bismuth. Bismuth is the element which have a very beautiful crystalline structure. So bismuth is a very rare element in the comparison of nitrogen. Or let's take another example, that is for fluorine. So fluorine is easily available in atmosphere and in different types of compounds on earth crust like fluorides and other types of material. But if it goes down to the astatine, the radioactive element, and which is also a part of the family of fluorine family, that is astatine. So the total number of astatine or the percentage of astatine is almost negligible on earth crust. That is 100 ppb. That is 100 parts per billion. For example, I will explain it by the example. We can take 1 billion parts of earth crust. For example, we have take 1 billion part of earth crust, and from among all these 1 billion parts, we just found 100 parts of astatine, not more than this. Even the possibility to get lower the number, but almost 100 will be found. That is maximum. So that thing make astatine the most rarest element on the earth. So now we talk about one interesting element, that is technetium. The atomic number is 43. Technetium is the only element of fifth group, fifth period, which is synthetic. You can see the element in a green color. There is elements are green color, this element are green color, this is in green color, this element is green color. So what are these green color? Why the green color is given to them? Because these all elements are chemically synthetic. They are synthesized by humans. They are not found in nature. They are just synthesized by using different types of nuclear reaction on the different elements. So technetium is the very first and non-radioactive synthetic material or non-synthetic element. And if we talk about this part, that is lanthanide series, the upper one known as the lanthanide series and lower one known as actinide series. So in the lanthanide series, the promethnium element is the only radioactive and synthetic element. All the synthetic elements except technetium are radioactive in nature. That means they are release the radiation or leak the radiation and destroy themselves in some time. The thing of radioactivity will started. So now we can take an element, or I can introduce an element in front of you which is highest radioactive on earth. No other element will compare its radioactivity, and that is radium. That is radium, which is discovered by Madame Curie by the ore of uranium metal. So radium is approximately 3 to 6 lakh times radioactive than uranium, and these all elements are very different types of conditions to store, that they were all stored in a lead box, due to which lead is a metal which can easily absorb all the radiation leaked from these elements. Now talk about some more things, that is we are made up of carbon silicon. Basically we are made up of carbon. We are all are organic. So if we goes down to the period, the diagonal relationship with the silicon has with arsenic. Silicon and arsenic has the diagonal relationship. So that's why as a biochemistry part, the diagonal relationship of silicon with arsenic known as the highly poisonous diagonal relationship, because arsenic is the most poisonous element for human. Most poisonous element, but it is only poisonous for humans, not for each and every organism. But now we talk about which element is the highest poisonous or lethal. Even it's a single drop can kill, one drop can kill among 3 to 5 lakh people. Only a 1 drop or 1 gram of its gas, if we convert that element into gas, that 1 gram gas easily killed 3 to 5 lakh humans, and that element is polonium. Atomic number 84. It is highly radioactive and it is highly poisonous, highly lethal. No other element can compete in all periodic table in the comparison of its poisonous. Now let's look an element having the highest melting point, the element which have highest melting point, that means you have to give a lot of energy or a lot of heat to melt it. That is tungsten. The atomic number is 74 and symbol is W. So tungsten is the element or the metal which can carry the award of highest melting point among all the metals. If you talk about a neighbor, left the neighbor, then tungsten, that is osmium. So osmium has highest density in all among the elements present on Earth. Then iridium. The most interesting fact about iridium is not found or not originated on Earth crust. This metal is come from the asteroids. We all know on when the Earth is modified or Earth will get change and check multiple times, the atmosphere of Earth will changes, and there are lots of era which the Earth has seen and faced, and that era lots billions asteroids will strike on the Earth for a multiple times for years, thousands of years. So they can fill the Earth by iridium. Iridium is the only element which is found on asteroid. This element does not exist on Earth. If we go 400 crore years back when the Earth is originated, so we can found if we able, so we can found that there is no iridium traces present on Earth. After the heavy late bombardment which is held before 300 crore years to 350 crore years back, after that bombardment, the Earth get fulfilled with iridium, or the iridium which is present on Earth nowadays are the result of that bombardment. And one more thing, the lawrencium, atomic number 103. This element is synthesized on Earth, but the most interesting fact is this element also present on asteroid in the traces, like the element which I have told you, that is astatine. Okay, so lawrencium is the synthetic element for humans, but it is not synthetic element for the nature, for the space or the universe. Okay, this periodic table, as I told you in the starting of this video, is divided into 4 groups, like S block, P block, D block and F block. These all blocks have a specified general electronic configuration by which we can fill the electron according to above principle. And this is the general electronic configuration of these elements, that is for S block, P block, D block and F block elements. D block element also known as in a transition element because it can make a bridge between the S block and P block element. And P block element are the block that is a block. D block is the block in which all 3 types of elements are present, that is metal, non-metal and semi-metallites or semi-metals, that is boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, beryllium, polonium. These all elements known as semi-metal, that means they are the connecting link between metals and non-metals. On the right hand side of the semi-metals, they are non-metals. On the left hand side of the semi-metals, they are metals. So they act as a metal and non-metal. For example, silicon. Silicon is used for the seal out, watertight seal in glass windows or glass aquarium. And it is also used in a microchips. So when it is used in a microchip, it acts as a metal, and when it is used as a sealing or watertight seal, it acts as a non-metal. And one more thing, among all these elements, there are only 118 elements. Among all these 118 elements, silicon has the highest boiling point. That means almost 235,558 degrees Celsius. This is the temperature of Earth core. Almost. This is the temperature of Earth core. On that temperature, silicon get boil. Okay. So this is all about the periodic table. Hope you like that thing. Please subscribe to my channel and like the video and share it. Thank you.